So guys, hello and good morning to all of you. Welcome to your English class for today. So today is Monday. Good morning to all of you. How are you today, guys? Yes, good. I hope you are all of you has been good since our last class is last week. So before we begin our lesson class, so let's see, um, how have you been since our last class. If you remember, we have finished our Pulse 2 Unit 4 last week, and now we will move forward to learn more in the Pulse 2 textbook. So before we move on to our latest topic, to our latest unit, guys, can you take a guess what is actually our topic for today? If you see, there are pictures shown in the slides. For example, we have test tube, DNA cells, microscope, and etc. So, can some of you or one of you take a guess what is actually our topic for today? You can't? Oh no. So let's move on to our topic for today. Our topic for today is Unit 5. Let's experiment. In this topic, we will be enhance your reading skill and speaking skill, especially your reading skill. So now you guys may open your textbook, Pulse 2, page 53. Yes, page 53. Okay, now you may refer your textbook on page 53. Let's see. There is an article wrote by a futurologist named Mark Mann. So, what is actually Mark Mann want to tell us? Any ideas? Adam? Shamil? Ali? Fatima? No? Okay. Let us read together. Will the world be very different 20 years from now? Futurologist Mark Mann gives us his view of life in the future. So, there are 6 views of Mark Mann in this article. Let us read together from his first view. Many people who are born in the 2050s will live until they are 150. That's because there will be vaccines for most serious diseases, including cancer. Now, who would like to read the second view? Lim? No. Okay, it's okay. Let's go to his second view. Cars will drive themselves. Our cars will take us wherever we want to go, safely and easily. And we'll be able to relax and enjoy the ride. Next, his third view. Learning is a second language won't be necessary. will be able to buy tiny computers that fit in our ear and translate what we hear into our own language. So next, his fourth view. There will be genetically modified crops that are very healthy. For example, sweets, fruit, sweets will have vitamins in them. We will also be able to buy square fruit and vegetables that fit in the fridge more easily. So you can store any durian crepe in your fridge. Next, his fifth view is people will go on holiday to space. Thousands of us will work in space stations, which will have hotels, restaurants, and sports stadiums. Now let us read together his last views. We'll be able to play video games just by thinking. That games will be advanced enough to understand what move we want to make. It will make the move for us. We won't need to touch anything. So, if you guys understand what is actually the article about, Ali, Lin, no idea? Let us read through together one more time. And we will make a little bit faster than before. Futurologist Mark Mann wrote this article. So his first view is many people who are born in the 2050s will live until they are 150. That's because there will be vaccines for more serious diseases, including cancer. Next, cars will drive themselves. Our cars will take us wherever we want to go, safely and easily. And we'll be able to relax and enjoy the ride. Next, his third view. Learning a second language won't be necessary. We'll be able to buy tiny computers that fit in our ear and translate what we hear into our own language. His fourth view. There will be genetically modified crops that are very healthy. For example, sweets will have vitamins in them. We will also be able to buy square fruits and vegetables that fit in the fridge more easily. Now, let's move on to his fifth view. People will go on holiday to space. Thousands of us will work in space stations, which will have hotels, restaurants, and sports stadiums. Next, his last view. We'll be able to play video games just by thinking. The games will be advanced enough to understand what move we want to make. It will make the move for us. We won't need to touch anything. So guys, my fellow beloved student, how many of you understand or maybe roughly understand what is actually the article talking about? Any ideas? Yes, good. The article is talking about future. So, futurologist Mark Mann predicting the future that maybe in the future people can live until 150 years old because we have all the vaccines we need for every diseases. And Mark Mann also predicted that cars will drive themselves. We don't need to drive our own cars. Thus, for Mark Mann, learning a second language will not be necessary because he thinks that in the future we can buy tiny computers. I mean tiny, not small, tiny computers that can fit in our ears. So it will help us to translate all the languages that we listen into our own language. Mark Mann also predicted that in the future there will be a genetically modified crops. Like he says, as example, sweets will have vitamins in them. Or maybe honey will have vegetables in them. Or you eat chicken will have vitamins, a lot of vitamins, various of vitamins in the chicken. Maybe in the future you can chew a pencil. Maybe that is what Mark Mann predicted. Next, Mark Mann says that the people will go holiday on space. If you see, nowadays in 2020, there are two billionaires racing between them on whom will be the first one as a successful billionaire to transport human to the moon or to the Mars. So I think what Mark Mann predicted might be come true. Might become true. Next, Mark Mann says that we'll be able to play video games by just thinking. We don't need handphones or mobile phones. We don't need PS5. We don't need Xbox 360. We just need to think what game we want to play. If you want to play Mobile Legend 5v5 or PUBG in the new map Livik, you may just be think the game and the game will also play for you by estimate what move you want to make. For example, if you play Mobile Legend, if you use Gatot Kaca, you want to use the Gatot Kaca's ulti, the chip itself, the video game itself will estimate if you want to use the ulti by jumping in front the enemy, on the enemy, behind the enemy, or beside the enemy. So you see guys, okay? Mark Mann has predicted the future. You guys understand? Good. Okay guys, now let us do a little bit of activity. So The first question is, oh yeah, you may refer to the textbook on page 53 too. It is just below the article of Mark Mann, the futurologist. So activity 1, we have read and listen to the article by my voice of speaking. So let us think of the six views that be given by Mark Mann. What is actually the views related to? We have A, travel and transport. We have B, medicine. We have C, entertainment. And we have D, eating. And the last one, E, education. So, fellow students, can you simply name which prediction are about regarding on these 5 topic given? For example, the number 1, is it related to transport or travel and transport, or maybe medicine, or maybe entertainment for the number 1, or maybe eating or education? Can you take a guess? Before that, I will need you to be in pairs. Yes, Lim, you may be sitting with Shamim. Don't worry. There is no need for you, Rita, to be seated beside Joel. No. I don't want both of you to be together. Please, go to sit with Ali. Thank you. Okay. If you now be sitting in pairs, let us begin. So, our first pairs. The first views. What is actually the topic is? Is it entertainment? Is it medicine? Or is it eating or education? Do think twice before you answer. So guys, have you found out the answer? Let us see. For travel and transport, which point of view of Mark Mann, the neurologist, do you think refers to travel and transport? Yes? Any ideas? If you take a look back to the article, the first view, or the second view, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, neither the sixth views. Which one of the views is talking about travel and transport? Yes. Any answer? No. Yes. Any answer? No. The answer is, let us know together the answer next week. No, just kidding. So the answer is for travel and transport. If you see the point of view number 2, which is cars will drive themselves. If we're talking about cars, my son, automatically the topic is refers to travel and transport. So travel and transport is refers to the point of view Mark Mann number 2. Number 2. Next, any point of views that refers to travel and transport? Yes, good. The fifth views is refer to travel and transport. if you see the fifth views, Mark Mann, the neurologist, says that people will go on holiday to space. When we're talking about to space, we are travel from one place to another place. Okay? Next, B. Medicine. Which Mark Mann point of view refers to medicine? Is it number 3? Or maybe number 6? Ha! The answer is number 1. Why number 1? Because in the point of view number 1, many people who are born in the 2040s will live until they are 150. Okay, focus guys, this is the key point. That because there will be vaccines for more serious diseases, including cancer. So the word vaccines itself is refers to medicine. You see, that is the answer. Next, C. Entertainment. Which of Markman points do you think is regarding to the entertainment? Number 5 or the 6th point? Yes, the 6th point. What is the key point in this point of view? Is it video games or make a move? The correct answer is video game, because video games is related to entertainment. So in the 6th views of Mark Mann, he says that will we be able to play video games? See, video games just by thinking. The games will be advanced enough to understand what move we want to make. It will make the move for us. We won't need to touch anything. So next, D. Eating. Which point of view of Mark Mann, the neurologist, refers to eating? Yes, correct. It refers to point of view number 4. What are the keywords or key points that can be defined? The topic eating is related to the point of view. If you see, Mark Mann says that there will be genetically modified crops. You see, modified crops that are very healthy. So when we're talking about modified crops, it is already regarding to the topic eating. For example, sweets, again, the key point or the keyword sweets, will have vitamins in them. We will also be able to buy square fruits. Fruits itself is regarded to eating. And vegetables, you see, that's another keyword that fit in the fridge more easily. And the last one is E, education. So which point of view refers to education? Yes, correct. Number number 3. Number 3 is refers to the education. Learning a second language. Learning the first word already is a keyword that refers to education. So learning a second language won't be necessary. We'll be able to buy tiny computers that fit in our ear and translate what we hear into our own language. Okay? Now you understand how to read, how to find keywords, how to skim, how to scanning easily, right? I mean easy, right? Okay. Let's go to our next activity. So, how do you think that the prediction will change your life? Or maybe the prediction of Mark Man will never change our life? How do you think about that? Yes, maybe the prediction will become true. Maybe not. So, give some feedbacks or comment about this particular statement. Do you think the prediction will change your life? Any answers? Yes? Good. The prediction will be able to change our life if we are on the correct path to move forward and become more futuristic in our life. Next, do you think that it is good idea for cars to drive themselves, or would you prefer to drive? Maybe some of you have already have an ambition to become a professional driver, such as F1 driver, or maybe Le Mans driver, or NASCAR driver. What do you think if your F1 car drive by themselves? Or maybe your Le Mans car, you are using Koenigsegg Agera R, and the Koenigsegg Agera R drive by itself. What do you think about that? Any ideas? Any comment? Yes. For me, I would prefer car to drive themselves or to drive yourself. If you ask me why, because I am an English teacher. Every day after school, I will feel very tired. So I need my cars to drive me home. That's why I would prefer to cars drive for cars to drive themselves. Yes, your opinion can be true. That maybe there are pros and cons if cars drive themselves. For an example, if you watch the movie that been act by famous actor Will Smith, what was that? That masuk sengaja. See? So, what do you think? Based on these two statements, do you think that is true? The prediction will change your life? And do you think it is a good idea for cars to drive themselves? You may ask your parents too about that question. So, now let us use our imagination Let us use our imagination to simply imagine these thing, these things will happen in our life, and think about how the things will change our life. You will need to write a short paragraph about if you think the prediction will be good or bad for you and why. For example, let's see the sentence that shown, the first sentence. I think sweets with vitamins will be good for me or will be bad for me. Or maybe you think that there are pros and cons about if the sweets with vitamins you eat is a healthy thing for you. So next, the simple sentence is I don't think playing video games will be fun, will be not fun enough, or maybe will be boring. Yeah, based on Mark Mann prediction that you will not need to touch anything while playing video games. For me, what I think is I don't think playing video games will be fun anymore because we will not be able to touch anything. We just need we just simply need to use our brain to think about what move we want to do. So for me, the video games will be boring in the future. Next, when people work in space station, they will, if based on my opinion, I think that when people work in space station, there will be a bunch of wealthy guys in space because it is very costly and not cheap to send people into the space. For example, you send Spider-Man or Iron Man to become a waiter, or maybe you yourself to become a waiter in a restaurant. By sending you itself is already a costly things to do. So you may write a paragraph based on this prediction. These are the samples of sentences. So you may predict whether it is good for you or it is bad for you in the future. Okay? So guys, now let us recap a little bit. What have you learned today? Any answers? Yeah? No? Okay. Let me explain to you in short. So today we are learning we we have learned about a little bit skills on skimming and scanning, and we have learned to read properly and find keywords to answer questions in the activity, and you will learn about humanity, science, and a little bit of experience, because you may use your brain to predict about the future. So don't forget to finish your short essay and submit to me next week. Okay? So, any question before we end our class for today? No? If not, this is um, the last thing that we'll be discussing. Remember to have a read through again about the what we do for today, and I hope that you understand, if not 100%, 75%, or maybe 110% about what we learned for today. Okay, guys, thank you to all of you. That's all for today. Goodbye. And before that, let us end our class in a modern way. Bye, guys. See you soon.